Welcome back, guys. We're back with another video of Marvel Future Fight, and in this video we're going to be looking at T3 Wolverine and mostly his potential and the ceiling limit in World Boss Ultimate. So I have this very important information to share with you guys about T3 Wolverine, which is a very crucial part. That was the main reason why I Tier 3 my Wolverine, and he's not providing me that aspect for which I Tier 3 him for. So we're directly gonna jump into the World Boss Ultimate, one of the stages of the World Boss Ultimate. Let's go with Proxima, and we're gonna go with Wolverine and Wasp so that we won't get interrupted, and good leadership with 5 strikers. And keep in mind the kind of strikers which I'm using over here, guys. And let's go. I'm going to show a very important aspect of Wolverine, and this might give you the take you the conclusion of your decision whether to Tier 3 your Wolverine or not. If I would have known this, I would have access to this information before Tier 3 my Wolverine. I would have never Tier 3 my Wolverine, to be honest, because 1200 CCF is a lot, guys, and this is a very big deal. So here we go. I'm gonna start this thing, and I'll try to proc his damage proc as much as possible. I mean, time his damage proc as much as possible. And yeah, it's very hard to use his third skill, guys, but with practice we'll be able to use his third skill efficiently. But there is also some improper designing in his third skill, especially when he dodges, he won't be taking any hit, and he will not do any, he will not get that buff. And now I'm gonna do his Tier 3 skill. Pay close attention. It didn't even proc this thing, like damage proc, trigger the damage proc. And as you saw, after I used my Tier 3 skill, Proxima didn't get any all defense down decrease. You can see that near her HP bar there isn't any all defense down decrease debuff on Proxima. And I'm actually gonna do it again. I'm gonna cancel his skills as soon as possible so that I can get that buff and be done with it quickly. It doesn't matter if I'm yeah, as you guys saw, there was no all defense down debuff. And when you look at his Tier 3 skill, it clearly states that there is all defense down, which can be stacked up to 50% on his Tier 3 skill, and that was not being applied to Proxima. You could say that it could just be a visual glitch or something like that, or it could be a bug. And I actually went ahead and submitted a ticket to Netmarble, and they replied stating that it must have been because of the debuff removal of if the boss has debuff removal, and it must have been removed. They replied me stating that, and I again replied to them by recording a video of his Tier 3 skill and then pausing at the exact frame which I want to know whether the defense down decrease, all defense decrease is being applied to the world boss or not. And you must be seeing that screenshot right now, and it clearly states that all defense down decrease can stack in the brackets and immunity. So this all defense down decrease is not being applied to world bosses. And I again sent this screenshot and wrote regarding the issue, and they replied telling that it was not supposed to be applied to the world bosses, and not all the debuff effects are applied to the world bosses. Only the debuff effects which are mentioned in the skill description over here, the character usage tips, they mentioned in case of Deadpool without uniform. If you take his uniform off here, it clearly mentions that his all defense down decrease from his third skill is applied to the world bosses. And even the exact example which they used was of Invisible Woman, which I don't have her. In the character usage tips, it clearly states that the charm effect is applied to the world bosses. If only it is stated in that way, it will be applied to the world bosses. That's what they exactly meant. And then why the hell is all defense down decrease and mind control and as well as mind resistance is being applied to world bosses or from Scarlet Witch's fourth skill and Scarlet Witch's third skill? Why is the all defense down decrease being applied to the world bosses uh, by Scarlet Witch, and it is clearly stated nowhere that Scarlet Witch's all defense down decrease is applied to the world bosses. It's stated, it is written nowhere in the game. Nowhere in her character usage tips, or no or in her skills. And even take the example of Sabertooth, which I don't have him. Even in his character usage tips or in his 4-star passive, it is not mentioned that it is being applied to world bosses, but it is still being applied to world bosses. It is not mentioned that it can be applied to the world bosses, but it's still being applied to world bosses. Then why the hell is Wolverine's tier 3 skill debuff is not being applied to the world bosses? This was the only main reason why I actually tier 3'd my Wolverine, because I wanted few hard hitting physical characters so that I can do stage 50 plus in my Proxima Midnight World Boss Ultimate and in my Corvus Glaive World Boss Ultimate. Because right now there's only one character in my roster who can do stage 50 plus on the physical World Boss Ultimate stages. That's Deadpool. He's the only character who can do that in my account, and that's the only reason why I tier 3'd my Wolverine, because he had that all defense down decrease. And as you progress more to higher and higher stages, the boss's defenses increase by a lot. So these characters who doesn't have all defense down decrease from their kit will have a very big reduction in their damage. And that was the same which happened in case of my Winter Soldier. I built him so extensively 25 gears with all Urus, 6-star Urus, and a good obelisk with completely awakened ISO set. And now he can't do even stage 42 or 43 without any support. And that's the reason why I never invested in tier 3 Mr. Fantastic, because his damage is really awesome, but at some point he's gonna lag behind the characters who are gonna apply all defense down decrease. And that's the reason why I tier 3'd my Wolverine. And now it turns out to be that his all defense down decrease on his tier 3 skill is not applied to the world bosses, and Netmarble is not gonna do anything about that. And it was so deceiving, guys. Like, seriously, it clearly stated that it is applicable, I mean, like it applies to enemies. I mean, like, he had that all defense down decrease, and now it can't be applied to world bosses, it can't be applied to giant boss raid. And in timeline, it's pretty much like it's you have very less chances that you will even load up this skill in timeline, because these days timeline is like a one-shotting thing. I mean, like, even I use damage proc obelisk and CTP of energy, and I just one-shot the opponents before they kill me. That's what I literally do in timeline, and that's how I score in timeline. Even in timeline, you will have very less chance of triggering the skill. You will kill the enemy before that, or the enemy will kill you before that. There are very less chances that you use this tier 3 skill in timeline. And then where the hell does this debuff, the all defense decrease, is being applied? I mean, like, in which game mode, except for the story mode and villain siege and all that easy things. I don't know why Netmarble did this, but this is so deceiving, and I wanted everyone to know about this, that this all defense down decrease is not being applied to world bosses, and so that they could take their own decision to tier 3 Mr. Fantastic or Wolverine. So that's all what I wanted to say. And also his third skill, I also wanted to tell few things about his third skill. Obviously the paralyze effect is not being applied to world bosses, that's obvious. And the thing about his third skill is that he can dodge when he's using this skill, and if he dodges the skill, if he dodges while he's using the skill, then he's not going to get those buffs. And that's the loophole of his third skill, because it's not perfect, man. Even in timeline, if you use this skill, timeline is mostly based on iframes, and this skill the enemy is iframing you, and this skill will not even hit your enemies even when you take hit, because there's no target to hit. So this skill is I said wrongly. I mean, this was designed to increase the skill aspect of the game, but this was not completely 100% well built skill. This has its own loopholes, and his damage is not that impressive in his normal kit, but his tier 3 skill damage is really impressive even without a damage proc. He takes out Proximus 2 bars of HP at stage 45 with just one support, 45% increase to super villain support. With just one support, he takes out 2 bars of HP, and this, if that damage proc lines up with his tier 3 skill, then he does like 3.5 to 4 bars. And if he had this all defense down, then he would have done absolutely amazing, but sadly he doesn't have, and I can't do anything about that. So that's all for this video, man. That's all for this video, and share this information, share this video. If not, at least this video, uh, text your friends saying that this tier 3 skills all defense down is not being applied to the world bosses. And thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Goodbye.